Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu. Today we will discuss the first week current affairs of September 2020. Means we will cover 1st to 7th September current affairs, and it is like a quiz and a revision session by the Affairs Cloud and by me, that is Ashu. You can see here this is Affairs Cloud's weekly quiz type questions. And if first of all I want to discuss that if you want to subscribe our paid current affairs subscription, then you can subscribe by visiting our website, that is affairscloud/current affairs. And what you will get in the current affairs PDF, you will get daily current affairs, you will get weekly PDFs, you will get weekly test also, monthly PDFs, and even monthly test also. You can see here that the question and answer PDF, that is the top 100 questions of the August month. This is the August screenshot. So every month you will get these type of the PDFs, that daily, weekly, monthly, and even these current affairs are available in English as well as in Hindi. If these current affairs are provided in very minimal cost, if you visit, you can realize that this is very minimal cost, and on that minimal cost you will get 10% discount by using code ASH10, that is ASH10, and by using this code you will get 10% discount on that minimal cost. So let's start our current affairs weekly quiz. Here is the first question, and we are starting with the national affairs. So we divided the parts, that is national affairs, economy, obituaries, appointments, so state news. So first of all we are starting with the national affairs. And first question is, who inaugurated the college administration building of Rani Lakshmibai Central Agriculture University in Jhansi, Uttar Pradesh through video conference? So that is very important college of the UP, and this is the Central Agriculture University. So they are expecting to improve the education infrastructure and contribute to cutting edge research in agriculture and further farmer welfare. So this institute is very much valuable for the center government, and this is inaugurated by Shri Narendra Modi ji, that is our Prime Minister. You can see in the image that Prime Minister inaugurates this building, Rani Lakshmibai Central University. This is already established, only the administration building is now opened. So only this is administrative building. Now moving to the next question, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh launched Chhavni COVID, that is Yodha Sarakshan Yojana, for whom? That already name mentioned, that is Chhavni. Chhavni means the cantonment area. So this scheme is for military cantonment. So what about this scheme? This scheme is like a insurance scheme which will be implemented by the LIC, that is life insurance company, and it will ensure about 10,000 employees of the military cantonment areas across India, and there are 62 military cantonment areas all over India. And this scheme will benefit the permanent employees, contractual employees, which include in the also doctors, paramedicals, sanitation staff. And how much insurance it will cover? It will cover 5 lakh rupees each. 5 lakh rupees each according to the that is Ayushman Bharat scheme, and this is 5 lakh rupees under the military cantonment area. So you have to remember this Chhavni COVID, for whom? That is for the military cantonment, and this is inaugurated by Rajnath Singh. And Yodha Sarakshan Yojana means that is the insurance scheme. It is providing 5 lakh rupees to the all cantonment areas. That is, total cantonment areas are 62. Moving to the next question, you can see here Rajnath Singh launched life insurance scheme, that is the Chhavni COVID Yodha scheme. Now, next question from the picture, that is very important question. You have to mark this in important section. Otherwise, all important questions are there, because we are not including that question which have less chance in the examination. So just important question. That is Ministry of Defense signs contracts worth rupees 2580 crore with Indian companies for supply Pinaka regiment. This word is the keyword, and if you remember this word, your question never will be go wrong. And this is the Pinaka. What is Pinaka? Pinaka, you can see in the picture that Pinaka is a multi-barrel rocket launcher system. You can see here this is a rockets, and this is a Pinaka launcher system. So Ministry of Defense signed for Pinaka regiments with the Indian companies, and this is 2580 crore. No one asking you the money, they will ask this Pinaka. What is Pinaka, they can ask. Moving to the next question, which union minister launched the Pan-India Green Term Ahead Market in New Delhi virtually for electricity? So now main important keyword is this Green Term Ahead Market. What is this Green Term Ahead Market? It is like a portal. This will benefit buyers of renewable energy. So India's target of renewable energy is 175 gigawatt. We have to achieve this target till 2022. And under 175 gigawatt, there is a 100 gigawatt is the solar energy. 60 gigawatt is the wind energy, 10 gigawatt is the that is the biofuel, and 5 gigawatt is the small hydro projects. This target can be achieved through this green ahead market system, because according to this e-platform, it will benefit buyers of renewable energy by providing them competitive prices, transparent and flexible procurement. Because if you want to buy any that is the renewable energy process in electricity, then you can visit this portal, and there are some buyers or the sellers, so that you can choose from which seller you want to buy that renewable energy. So it will provide you the competitive price, you can bargain on that portal. So it is very, very good platform by this ministry, that is Union Power Ministry. And who is Union Power Minister? That is R.K. Singh. And you can see here that is Rajkumar Singh. It means it is launched by Shri Rajkumar Singh. So you have to remember this green term ahead market, that is related to renewable energy or electricity. Now you can see here R.K. Singh launched green term ahead market. Moving to the next question. Which union territory have included recently in One Nation One Ration Card scheme? All you know about One Nation One Ration Card means if you are a migrant worker of a Maharashtra, you can't purchase a subsidized food or the food from the fair price shops in UP if you are working in UP and belongs to Maharashtra. But with the One Nation One Ration Card, you can purchase subsidized ration from any shop at all over India. It means at any fair price shop which are assigned for this work. And this will be operational by the March 2021 in all states and the UTs. By March 2021, you remember this date, by March 2021 it will be applicable almost in all districts, in all states and the all UTs. So recently two UTs are included under this, that is the Ladakh and the Lakshadweep. So answer is both A and C. So answer is D. Mark this answer. And total states become 26 after adding Ladakh and the Lakshadweep. States and UTs both. That is total become 26. Both A and C, that is Ladakh and Lakshadweep, total become 26. Now moving to next question, you can see here One Nation One Ration Card, Ladakh and Lakshadweep included, and now it becomes 26 states and the UTs. Next question is, where will be the Cycling Federation of India is set to host the first ever cycling summit in 2021? It is to boost the Fit India campaign. So just remember, as the news you are seeing that first ever cycling summit in 2021, it is by the name it is clear that it is for the Fit India campaign, Fit Hai to Hit Hai. And this is held in Mumbai, Bengaluru, New Delhi, all of these. Yes, answer is all of these. If the options come only New Delhi, then mark the New Delhi answer. If options come these three, then mark all of these. And you have to know about them that Cycling Federation of India, and headquarter is in New Delhi. Remember this headquarter, that is in New Delhi. You can see here that is in all the three metro cities. You can see here Mumbai, Bengaluru, New Delhi, except Chennai. So exclude Chennai. Next, moving to next question, which country plans to come out with a detailed set of forensic accounting and investigation standard by the end of December 2020? Now, most important keyword is there, forensic accounting and investigation standard. What is this? What is forensic accounting? You all know about the investigation standard. What is forensic accounting? Forensic accounting is the investigation of fraud or financial manipulation by performing extremely detailed research and analysis of financial information. It means to analysis of financial information, or you can say the detailed research of the financial manipulations. So it is the forensic accounting. So the organization want to set up new guidelines by the end of December 2020, and it is the first time these type of standards are setting down, and this country is India. Yes, there is a organization that is ICAI. That is ICAI, and this is the Chartered Accounting Institution of India, that is the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India. So this is very well renowned institute. This is for the auditors purpose, because they are auditing, that's why the forensic accounting is there. Where is the headquarter of this Chartered Accounting Institute of India? That is in New Delhi. So remember this, New Delhi, and remember this is India. You can see here that is Institute of Chartered Accounts of India. Moving to the next question. The Union Cabinet has approved the launching of which program to enable government officers and employees get the opportunity to improve their performance? So the main keyword is there that in government officers and employees get the opportunity to improve their performance. So there should be a platform. That platform is known as I Got Mission Karam Yogi or the Karam Yogi platform. You have to remember this word, that is the Karam Yogi platform. By this platform, all the civil servants, all the officers, government or the officers will get the government online training. That is the I got stands for the integrated government online training. So by this platform, every government employee of center government, like 46 lakh of center government employees, will get benefited. So what will be the under this program? You have to teach, not teach actually. What you will learn capacity building. You will learn service matter like confirmation after probation period, any work assignment, notification of vacancies, etc. All will be under the one platform, that is the I Got Karam Yogi platform. It means this platform will provide online training to the civil servants, and it will benefit almost 2.5 crore civil servants all over India with the state and the center government, but only 46 lakh of the center government and all other states. So it will provide the all the service matters like the related to the civil servants. So this is very important platform. They can enhance their performance by this platform, and this mission is known as the Mission Karma Yogi. You can remember this Mission Karma Yogi. Now moving to the next question. Cabinet approves MOU between India and which country for cooperation in the field of good quality textiles? Because you know that India producing very much good quality of textile, that is cotton and jute. That is best quality of cotton and jute is produced by India, and cotton is by the Maharashtra and Gujarat, and jute by the West Bengal. So India signed a MOU with the Japan for this purpose, that they want to export cotton and jute from the India, and basically Japan want to import the cotton and jute from India, and India want to export that. So there is a type of quality textile between India and Japan. So remember this, textile with India and Japan. Now there is another cabinet approval, that is India and which country cooperation in the field of geology and mineral resources. That India and that country will share the mineral resources, exploration and mining activities, and all other mapping activities of both the countries. That India and the country is Finland. Answer is B. And with the textile, answer is Japan. With the mineral resources, answer is Finland. Moving to the next question. Which language apart from the existing Urdu and English will be the official language in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir? Yes, guys, there are two languages are already official languages, that is Urdu and English. Now, one, two, or three, you can see here the three options or all of these. One, two, or three, how many languages are more added in the official language status? So, answer is all of these. That Kashmiri, you can remember by the name of Kashmir. Hindi, already you can remember. Dogri, because it is a language of the Jammu and Kashmir, that is the Pahadi language. And English and Urdu. So you have to remember just one or two languages. Because Urdu by name, you can say it is a Muslim language, so maximum population in Jammu and Kashmir lies with the Muslim. And here you can say Kashmiri and the Dogri. These you can remember. Two things you have to remember, that English, Hindi is also a official language of Jammu and Kashmir. So these three languages added under the Jammu Kashmir official language status. Moving to the next question. Which state celebrated Pang Fesol, a festival of cultural heritage and historical importance? This celebrated according to the happiness of the state when they are harvesting the crop. You have to remember this name. That is the Fang Lahab Sol. It is pronunciation as that is the Ang Hapsol. So you can remember anyways, that is the Fang Lapsol. You have to remember just the state. That state is the Sikkim. Now what they do in this festival, they do blessings of Mount Kanchenjunga. That is the Mount Kanchenjunga. That is another name of the Mount Kanchenjunga in Sikkim. And there are two tribes of the Sikkim state. They celebrate brotherhood between the two states, two tribes. That one tribe is known as the Lapchas, Lepchas, Lapchas, and second is Bhutias. So they celebrate the brotherhood of the two communities. So it is celebrated near the Mount Kanchenjunga in the state of Sikkim. So moving to the next question, and it is celebrated between the August and September. August and September, any day it can be, but in August and September because it is a period of monsoon ending. You can see here Sikkim celebrate Phang Lapsol. It is a cultural festival and historical importance. I already told you what is the historical importance. That is the two communities are tying up. It means the blood brotherhood of the two communities. Moving to the next question, which state received its first inland shipping cargo from Bangladesh under protocol for inland water trade transit? This is very important because nowadays inland water trade transit is very important, and it is very beneficial for the international relation because Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, or neighboring countries can share the river transit. So that's why we can share the border culture and we can share the trade culture with the flow of rivers. So that's why it is very important, and it is first time that Bangladesh exports some type of consignment to the India, that is the Tripura state, through the inland waterway. The name of the vessel or the ship is MB Premier, and it carries cement to India, and it is from the Dod Kandi. You can remember if you want, that is Dod Kandi in the Bangladesh, and it comes to the Sonamara, Sonamura, Sonamura in Tripura. So it is 93 kilometer, and on which river? That is between Bangladesh and Tripura, between India and Bangladesh. That is on the Tripura side. It is Gumti. Gumti. Many people confused that is a Brahmaputra, but it is not Brahmaputra because Brahmaputra only travels in Arunachal Pradesh and the Assam, not in Tripura. So remember this Gumti river, and so answer is very clear, that is Tripura. So you can say Tripura receives first ever inland ship. This is the live picture of that ship. And what is the name of the ship? Is the MB Premier, and it is 93 kilometer. River is Gumti, and what is the thing inside this? That is the cement. Moving to the next question, the 12th Mekong Ganga Cooperation senior officials meeting took place virtually. How many countries are member of MGC? That is the Mekong Ganga Cooperation. So it is a very important question because I think you are reading this is the first time organization, that is the Mekong Ganga Cooperation. Mekong is a very famous river of Thailand, you can say Vietnam, Myanmar, China, Cambodia, these countries, and Ganga, you know, it is the longest river of India, that is 2525 kilometer. So it is a cooperation between India and the Mekong countries, but it is not including China. So there are 6 member countries. One is India. Now other 5 countries are in which Mekong is passing. That is Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Myanmar, and Thailand. But this that is a Mekong also starts from China, but China is not a part of this Mekong Ganga Cooperation. It is very important question. So you have to remember this Mekong Ganga Cooperation. Total countries are member 6. Moving to the next question, you can see here in the image that Mekong Ganga Cooperation, these are the 6 countries flag you can see here. So Mekong starts from the China and it goes there, and but China is not a part of MGC. India is a part because Ganga is there. Ganga starts from the Gangotri glacier from the Uttarakhand. In Uttarakhand, it is known as Bhagirathi, and after that it enters to the UP. After UP it enters to the Bihar to some part of Jharkhand, and then West Bengal to drain into Bay of Bengal. Moving to the next question, who released the inaugural issue of the report, The State of Young Child in India? That is again very important question because it is issued by our Vice President, that is Venkaiah Naidu, The State of Young Child in India. So what about this report? This report is related to the child development between 0 to 6 years in India. And this report is prepared by the Mobile Crèches. Mobile Crèche. Crèche means that is a playway of the small children. And it is a policy advocating organizing which works with underprivileged children across India. It means it only covers the underprivileged children across India. The report also released the list of best performing state and the worst performing state based on the young child outcome index. And here best performing state is Kerala and worst performing state is Bihar. So you have to remember best performing state under the young child outcome index, that is the Kerala, and the worst is the Bihar. So remember this. Moving to the next question. You can see here, this is the that is state of the young child in India. This is prepared by Mobile Crutches. Who is appointed as a new chairman of Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturer? Yes, guys, there is a organization of the automobile manufacturer groups. All the manufacturers in India, which is a part of automobile sector, are members of this Indian Automobile Manufacturer Society. So, out of the one manufacturer group, the chairman of one manufacturer group will become the chairman of this Society of Indian Mobile Manufacturers. So, you have to remember who is the new chairman of the Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturer. And answer is very simple, that is the Kenichi Ayukawa. Kenichi Ayukawa is the also chairman of the Maruti Suzuki India. So you have to remember this, that is Kenichi Ayukawa. And this is inaugurated by Prakash Javadekar. Now, this is all about the national news. Now, moving to the international news. These are again very important. Now, moving to the first question. Where was the 6th International Military Technical Forum Army 2020 was held? And this is held in Russia. You can see here Russia. And you can see in the image that Indian tanks and the Indian missiles also represented in the Army Forum 2020. So, you have to remember this Army Forum 2020 held in Russia. Moving to the next question, which country extended an emergency support loan up to 50 billion Japanese yen to support India's response to the COVID-19 crisis? And this is very important because due to COVID-19, so many countries are facing crisis on the part of the economy virtue, but some countries are also extending their helpful hand to many countries. Like one country, that is the Japanese yen, it means it is a Japan, that extending hands for about 50 billion Japanese yen to provide a support to India response to the COVID-19 crisis, so that we can tackle the COVID-19 crisis as a social factor, as an economic factor, and even as a political factor. Now, moving to the next question. So you can see here Japanese 50 billion yen as a emergency loan, that is almost about 3500 crore rupees. 3500 crore rupees. India agreed to launch a trilateral supply chain resilience initiative in the Indo-Pacific region with which two countries? I already told you so many times in the daily current affairs that if you are talking about Indo-Pacific region, then there is a trilateral tie-up and there is a quadrilateral tie-up also, because these countries which are member of this trilateral group and the quadrilateral group, they want to reduce the strength of the China in the Indo-Pacific area. That's why there is a agreement of the trilateral supply chain and there is a agreement of the quadrilateral supply chain, and they want to enhance the trade between these three countries or the four countries if they are asking about the quadrilateral group. And the trilateral group is the Australia, Japan and the India. Australia, Japan and the India. This is a trilateral group of the Indo-Pacific region. And if they want to, if they asking that is the quadrilateral group, then add USA also. Then there is a USA, India, Japan and the Australia. Now moving to the next question, you can see here Australia, India, Japan decided to launch supply chain resilience initiative, so they can trade in the Indo-Pacific area and they can enhance the supply chain, and they also invited other countries in that area and if they want to join this supply chain resilience initiative. What is the rank of India in the 13th edition of Global Innovation Index? And it is the first time that India's rank is below 50. This is very good news for Indians, that first time India's rank is below 50. So you can see here what is the rank of India's, that is 48th rank of India. So remember this rank. This is very important that India's rank is 48. It is out of 131 countries. So guys, this is to remember, that is total countries are 131 and it is the 13th edition of this Global Innovation Index. And which country topped this index? That is Switzerland. Remember this, which country topped this index? That is Switzerland for providing the innovation. And this index is released by, you can see in the picture, that is WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization. So remember, this question will be asked 101% in the IBPS exam. So remember this question, that is 48 and out of 131 countries, and this rank is released by World Intellectual Property Organization. Now moving to the next question, and which institute of India tops among the 63 Indian institutions which were qualified for the World University Ranking 2021? Almost 1500 universities were ranked, but India's university which is topped under the university ranking of 2021 in India. So what is the answer? This is very simple, and in every index, and you can see in every index this institute tops. Almost in every index this institute tops. And you have to tell me what is the answer, and this is very simple. On Indian side, IISc Bengaluru, that is Indian Institute of Science Bengaluru, topped this index. Second rank to the IIT Roped, and third rank is to the IIT Indore. So you have to remember, first rank, that is the IISc Bengaluru. All over world, first rank goes to the University of Oxford, that is in England, and second rank goes to the Stanford University, California in USA. So just remember, first university all over world is the Oxford University, and first University of India under the university ranking, that is the IISc Bengaluru. So if you mark Tukka, then mark this IISc Bengaluru. So you can see IISc Bengaluru, it comes in the 301 to 350 in the 2020, and in 2021 also in the 301 to 350. So first rank goes to the Oxford. Remember this. Move on to the next question. Which country hosted G20 Foreign Minister Summit? And it is very simple answer. And answer is Saudi Arabia. Yes, Russia is hosting 2020's BRICS Summit. BRICS Summit. Vietnam is hosting ASEAN Summit. So Vietnam is 2020 chairmanship of ASEAN, Russia's BRICS chairmanship, and Saudi Arabia is the 2020 chairmanship of G20. G20 has 20 members, in which 19 are countries and one in the European Union. Remember this. And BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. South Africa added in 2010. And India will also take this membership in 2021. BRICS membership will goes to India in 2021. So ASEAN, India is not a member of ASEAN. So remember these all the things which I told you. Moving to the next question, you can see here Saudi Arabia hosted foreign minister meeting. And next question is, which country hosted 35th session of Food and Agriculture Organization FAO Regional Conference of Asia and the Pacific, that is APRC 35. So why this Food and Agriculture Association held this meeting between the Asia and the Pacific, that is APRC 35? Because it was held to plan responses and recovery work to address the twin pandemic. One is the COVID-19 pandemic. Second is, due to COVID-19, there is a problem of hunger. So that's why they told that the twin pandemic, it is a COVID-19, and second is the hunger. So the conference also discussed new marketing channels like e-commerce sites and the new technology like the storage facility that will help reduce food losses. So it is very important that how much India is exporting and how much India is importing. So till the 2017, India is exporting 2.27% of total food products, and 1.90% all over the world it is importing. So it means exports are more than the imports. So it is very important. And who is Minister of State for Agriculture and Farmer? That is Purushottam Rupala. So you have to remember also this. And this is a biennial program. So in 2020 it is hosted by the Thailand, and in 2022 it will be hosted by the Bangladesh. Yes, our neighboring country, that is Bangladesh, and in 2020 it is hosted by Thailand. So remember this answer, that is Thailand. So you can see in the picture also. Moving to the next question, who delivered special keynote address at the US India 2020 summit of ISPF, that is India Strategic Partnership Forum, that is US India Strategic Partnership Forum. So it is to strengthening the relation between India and US. So it is a speech given by the Narendra Modi ji, our Prime Minister. You can see here Narendra Modi ji gave this lecture and addressed this summit, that is the US India Strategic Partnership Forum. Now moving to the next question, and who presented India and the 5th BRICS Ministers of Foreign Affairs International Relation? So every day there is a meeting of BRICS, like Cultural Minister meeting, Foreign Affairs Minister meeting, International Affairs Minister meeting, any meeting. So you have to remember the minister name. So who is Foreign Affairs Minister? That is the S. Jaishankar, and that is attended by S. Jaishankar, because he left after that for the Moscow. So that's why Minister of State attended the meeting. So but S. Jaishankar attended this type of meeting. So you have to remember that BRICS Games in 2021, that is the first time BRICS Games is happening, and it is hosted by India. It will be hosted by India, and it will be hosted by Haryana also, in Panchkula, because it is aligned with Khelo India Youth Games. Khelo India Youth Games in 2021 will be hosted by Haryana in Panchkula. Moving to the next question, and the section of international affairs is over, and the next section is banking and finance and economy and business. So moving to the first question, with which bank Vedanta Group announced its tie-up for a long-term syndicated loan facility for 10,000 crore? Because Vedanta Group want to take up loan from many banks, so many banks collaborated together and one bank is leading. That's why it is known as the syndicated loan. Syndicated loan means that group of banks are giving loan to one company and one bank is leading that loan. It means one bank is leading that group, and this is the SBI. So major stake is with the SBI, because SBI giving is almost 5,000 crore and all other banks are giving 5,000 crore. So it is total 10,000 crore and SBI is giving the Vedanta Group 10,000 crore rupees. So remembering this, SBI and Vedanta giving the 10,000 crore rupees. Moving to the next question, which bank will invest 650 million euro in the construction of Kanpur first city metro line? So this is the first city metro line of the you can say Kanpur area, because first time they invested, this bank invested in the Lucknow project. That is also a metro line, but this is the first time in the Kanpur that is a metro line, and this bank is European Investment Bank, which is investing in the Kanpur Uttar Pradesh project. So remember just one news, that European Investment Bank is investing in Kanpur metro line. If you belongs to UP, then remember this amount, otherwise no need to remember this amount. You can see here European Investment Bank. Moving to the next question, which of the following new categories are included under priority sector for financing by RBI? So RBI mentioned some priority sector lending, that banks have to given some percentage of loan to the some categories like agriculture, MSMEs, and poverty like BPL families. So there are many sections under the priority sector. So total priority sector lending is the 40%, and RBI included startups, loan to the farmer of installation to the solar power plants, yes. Loans to the starting up compressed biogas plants, yes. So answer is all of these. So these three new categories are included under the priority sector lending. So you have to remember two things: what is priority sector lending and what are the categories under the priority sector lending. You can see here, these are the priority sector lendings. Moving to the next question, Lazy Pay. By the name it suggests lazy. A part of PayU Finance has launched a first of its kind digital credit card. What is the name of this card? So by this credit card, you can buy something and you can pay later. So this is a main function of this credit card. That's why its name is lazy. You are so much lazy that you can't pay from your money. You can pay from the credit card, but you can pay later to the credit card company. And that credit card company is Lazy Pay. It is a subsidiary of PayU Finance. And the name of the card is Lazy UPI. That is Unified Payment Interface. Lazy UPI. So remember this, that is the Lazy UPI is a PayU Finance company, and it is a first kind of digital credit card. It is not a physical credit card, it is a digital credit card. That Paytm is also issuing digital credit card. So on the mobile, you have to submit your detail and they will issue a card like structure on the mobile. There will be a 16-digit number or the 18-digit number, and there are all the details like the physical credit card. Now, moving to the next question, which bank launched a cardless cash withdrawal facility from the automated teller machines? So when you visited the ATM so many times, there is an option on the left side that is the cardless cash. So it means if you forget your card or if you don't have card, then you can withdraw the money from the ATMs. But it is only possible if it is if it is equipped with the that is mobile function. So if it is equipped with the mobile function, then you can withdraw the money, and it is recently started by the RBL. Many banks started this type of facility, but now it is started by the RBL bank. You can see here RBL bank started this type of cardless ATM. Next is Marcom Capital ranked which company as world largest solar power generation asset owner. So you have to remember this, largest solar power generation asset owner. It means all over world, this is the largest solar power generation company, and this is Adani Green Energy Limited. So remember this answer, Adani Green Energy Limited. This is very important. It is not Reliance, it is Adani. This is Adani, and it is by the Marcom Capital Group, which ranked this world solar largest power generation company. Moving to the next question, which company became the first Indian dairy company to enter RoboBank? This is the most important question of the week. I am saying most important question of the week. By RoboBank annual listing of the global dairy top 20 2020 companies. And first Indian dairy company which entered this, that is the Amul. Yes, guys, Amul. Who is the founder of Amul? That is the Verghese Kurien. You can say he is also known as the milkman of India, and he was also known as the Anand of India. He was father of the White Revolution, also known as the Operation Flood. And Rabobank first rank goes to Nestle, Switzerland. Headquarters is in Switzerland. And Amul goes the 16th rank. You can say in the picture that Amul got the 16th rank. And it is the first time that Indian company entered in the top 20 list. Now, moving to the next section, that is the awards and recognition. This is again very important section, guys. Awards and recognition, and very much asked in the banking exam. So, who are preparing for the banking exam, this is very important section for them. Which international airport won the National Energy Leader Award and the Excellent Energy Efficient Unit Award at the 21st National Award for Excellence in Energy Management? So, this airport won this award under the Energy Management Award, and this award goes to the Hyderabad International Airport. This is also known as Rajiv Gandhi International Airport. So remember this another name, that is Rajiv Gandhi International Airport. You can see here Hyderabad International Airport wins National Energy Leader Award by for the management of energy. Moving to the next question. If you have asked about the airport, then it is the Rajiv Gandhi or the Hyderabad International Airport. If you have talked about company, or if you have asked about company, then the answer goes to this Rashtriya Ispat Nigam Limited, that is the Vijag Steel Plant in Andhra Pradesh. Rashtriya Ispat Nigam Limited, Vijag Steel Plant. So for the better energy management, company is the Rashtriya Ispat and airport is the Hyderabad International Airport. Next question, for the first time, which person from Eklavya Model Residential School has been selected for the National Award to Teachers 2020? 47 teachers are selected all over India for the national awards, and Ramnath Kovind ji presented this award. But first time a person, it is a you can say Eklavya Model Residential School. These schools are related to the scheduled tribes, and first time the teacher of the Eklavya Model Residential School selected, and her name is the Sudha Penuli. You have to remember Sudha Penuli. The name is very important, Sudha Penuli. You can see here 47 outstanding teachers selected. Now, next question from the state news, guys. We are moving to the state news, and first question is, which state government approved 600 crore project title rejuvenating watersheds for agriculture resilience through innovative development with World Bank assistance? So they want the watershed management for the agriculture so that their agriculture productivity and the production can be increased. So by watersheds, they can provide the timely water connections to the agriculture land, and they can irrigate the land through these water sheds. So tell me, guys, answer. And the state is very famous, that is Karnataka. You can see here that is Karnataka. Karnataka is very famous for the iron ore mines like Kudremukh mines, like Tumkur mines, like Chikmagaluru mines, like the Bellari mine, that are very famous in the Karnataka. And there are very important national parks like Nagarhole National Park, like Banerghatta National Park, Bandipur National Park, Kali Tiger Reserve. These all are in Karnataka. So very important state. You can see here Karnataka cabinet clears 600 crore watershed project with the World Bank assistance. So who is providing the assistance? That is the World Bank. Next question, which state government of Andhra Pradesh inked pact with which country to boost the food processing sector? So Andhra Pradesh government tied up with which country to boost the food processing sector? Andhra Pradesh government signed total 8 pacts and 7 for with the domestic companies, but 1 pact with the country, and that country is Sweden. Sweden ties up with the Andhra Pradesh for the boost of the food processing sector. It means the Sweden companies and the Andhra Pradesh companies will tie up for the food processing sector. So total 8 signs, 7 for the 7 with the Indian companies and 1 with the Sweden. Next is the which state government launched its old scheme, Swami Vivekanand Assam Youth Empowerment worth rupees 1000 crore. Already mentioned their name, that is the Assam state started this type of scheme, that is the Swami Vivekanand Youth Empowerment worth rupees 1000 crore. The previous scheme was also started by the Assam government, but it was obstructed by the banks because banks didn't provide any fund. That's why the state government decided to provide fund from the state government fund. Now it will be provided 1,000 crore from the state government fund. When it was launched, firstly, the fund was provided with the banks, but banks didn't provide any fund. That's why the scheme called off. But now it started again with the state government fund, that is the 1,000 crore rupees fund. So according to this, 50,000 rupee will be provided as a monetary benefit if any person from the Assams want to start a business or want to start any startup. So there is a just one condition that age should be below 40 years and should have passed matriculation, and you have to belong to the Assam state. This is the main qualification. Otherwise, you can start a business with the 50,000 rupee given subsidy given by the state government, and that state is the Assam. You can see here it is this self scheme to provide self employment to around 2 lakh youths. It means target total, that is a 2 lakh youths. Moving to the next question, which UT government launches Sparrow, a online performance appraisal system for administrative services officer of the UT? It means all the appraisal system or the APR report, you can say appraisal report, go online through this Sparrow system. It means it will bring more transparency and even avoiding loss of that is the appraisal reports during transition, ensuring better monitoring and timely completion of performance appraisal of the Jammu Kashmir, yes, Jammu Kashmir Administrative Services. So this is started by the Jammu Kashmir government so that all the APRs can be filed online from anywhere, anytime. So it will be benefit to the maximum employees who want to apply for the APRs or who want APR at any time. So it is very beneficial and it is started by the Jammu Kashmir. So remember this Sparrow system. And there is a meaning of Sparrow. Sparrow means Smart Performance Appraisal Report Recording Online Window. So you have to remember this, that is the Smart Performance Appraisal Report Recording Online Window. So remember this abbreviation also. Moving to the next question, which state launched iRakhwali application to safeguard the forest areas in the state? So why this iRakhwali? I means me, Rakhwali means take care. It means it is to safeguard the forest areas in the state by making common citizen as stakeholders in the process. It will help citizens to become greenery saviors. So main aim to inspire people to plant more trees, and this app will help people came forward and contribute towards the environment protection. Even they can also get the information about the nurseries which are giving the plants and the saplings free of cost, so that the greenery of the state can be increased. And the state is Punjab, and their Punjab State Minister of Department of Forest, Wildlife and Preservation is Sadhu Singh Dharamsot, who started this type of application, that is iRakhwali. You can see here Sadhu Singh Dharamsot, iRakhwali, that is the greenery savior, so that the area of forest of the state can be increased. Now the state belongs 6% area of the forest, and they want to increase the area. Moving to the next question. With which state government Shri Vallabh Pite International Group signed a memorandum of understanding to develop project for textile, defense and aerospace? Now this is very important because this is again Make in India, to boost the Make in India concept, because in defense you know that we want to self-sufficient in the defense sector, aerospace sector and the textile sector. So we tied up this company, that is the Shri Vallabh Pite International Group, tied up with the state government of Rajasthan. You can see in the image that for the aerospace and for the textile production, Rajasthan government will provide a land and will provide the capital to the this Shri Vallabh Pite International Group. Moving to the next, and this is from the picture that Andhra government signed a pact with the CSIR, that is the central, that is not central, that is the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, and IICT stands for the Indian Institute of Chemical Technology, Hyderabad, to set up a bulk drug pharma park. So you have to remember which government want to build a drug pharma park and with which unit they tied up. So they tied up with the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research with the Indian Institute of the Chemical Technology, that is also in Hyderabad. Moving to the next question, which state government received the nod from the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority to form its crop insurance firm? It means that state government want to form their um, insurance company for the crop insurance, and this state government is the Andhra Pradesh. Now they will set up this insurance company and they want to insure the crops of the state farmers. You can see here that is the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India signed gave approval to the Andhra Pradesh government. Which state government launched cleanliness campaign Gandagi Bharat Chodo, that is started by the Madhya Pradesh, that is Gandagi Bharat Chodo. This is the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan campaign that is started by the Madhya Pradesh government. Moving to the next question, which state launched two citizen-centric mobile application, that is Amma Seher and the Swachh Seher? It means they can given the services through these two services, that is the Amma Seher and the Swachh Seher, and these two citizen centric mobile applications started by the Odisha government. Chief Minister is Naveen Patnaik, and very famous national parks and the biosphere reserve, that is the Simlipal National Park, and Simlipal Biosphere Reserve is also there. Usha Koti National Park also there. Bhitarkanika National Park also there. These are very important. There is a Sun Temple, that is also known as the Konark Temple, also known as Black Pagoda. There is Jagannath Puri Temple, also known as the White Pagoda. So these are very important. Moving to the next question, you can see here Naveen Patnaik ji is Chief Minister and started two, that is the Amma. You have to remember this word, Amma Seher, that is the Sheher. Ministry of Home Affairs notifies the rule of transaction of business for which state or UT? And this state or UT is that is Jammu and Kashmir. So the new notification by the center government or the Ministry of Home Affairs decides the role and responsibility between the center and the state legislator of the UTs, because there is no legislator in the Jammu and Kashmir, because no election took place after the declaring of the UT. But when there will be MLAs in the UTs, then what will be the relation between the center and the state of the UTs or the UT of the that is Jammu and Kashmir? So Police, Civil Service and Anti-Corruption Bureau of Jammu and Kashmir lies with the Lieutenant Governor, that is the Manoj Sinha. If Lieutenant Governor and Council of Minister differ in any state, like you are seeing in the Delhi, that is Anil Baijal and the Arvind Kejriwal, and the relation between the Kiran Bedi and the Puducherry government, so that the decision taken by the Home Ministry that if the Lieutenant Governor and Council of Minister differ on any issue, the LG is required to refer the matter to President, and LG will act according to the decision taken by the President. So this is very important. Moving to the next question. Important days, guys, important days. And first is Nutrition Month. This is announced by Modi ji in the Mann Ki Baat program, that Health is Wealth Nutrition Month. September is observed as the Nutrition Month. So I am not giving you so much detail about the Nutrition Month. Just remember Nutrition Month is September. And Telugu Language Day. And why it is celebrated on 29th August? Because the famous Telugu writer, that is the Venkata Ramamurthy, the birth anniversary celebrated on the 29th August. That's why he is known as the Telugu Basha. That's why he is known as Telugu Basha. Or he was also known as the Vadukku Basha, because his famous contribution is the Vadukka Basha. So no need to remember these things. Just remember Telugu Language Day, that is on 29th August, and by whose name it is celebrated? It is celebrated with the name of the Venkata Ramamurthy, because one person is famous in the Italy, that is the Italian of the East, which referred Telugu as a language of Italian of the East. It was referred by the Niccolo di Conti, because Telugu also ends with the that is the vowel, that is U, and Italy, that is also word refers to the last letter with the vowel, because it is known as the Italia, that is language Italia. So a vowel, U is vowel, that's why there is a that is Italian of the East. Moving to the next question. International Day of Victims of Enforced Disappearances. Those persons which are disappeared by enforcefully by the political actions of the government or any other actions of the government, then the international day marked with this, that International Day of Victims of Enforced Disappearance, that is on the 30th August 2020. Moving to the next, that is the National Small Industry Day, because on the same day in 2000 in exact year 2000, on the same day, that is the 30th August, first time the small industry policy was started. That's why there is a day, National Small Industry Day, because these days the policy comes with the MSME, that is the micro, small, medium industries. But there is a small industry day because this policy is only related to the small industry. Moving to the next, that is the National Nutrition Week, September 1 to 7, because September month is celebrated as National Nutrition Month, and 1 to 7 September is known as the National Nutrition Week. World Coconut Day, and the theme is invest in coconut to save the world, because there is so much in the coconut, and for the health benefits, we celebrated the World Coconut Day, and the theme you have to remember: invest in coconut, save the world. Moving to the next day, National Teachers Day. All you know that is very important because it is related to the Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. He's the best teacher in the education platform, and National Teacher Day celebrated on the birth anniversary of the Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. He was also first Vice President of India and also first Vice President who became the President of India, 5 September 2020. Moving to the next question, International Day of Charity, that is the 5th September. 5th September is celebrated because it is a death anniversary of the Mother Teresa of Calcutta. So remember this, it is a death anniversary. 5th September is a Mother Teresa death anniversary. It is known as the International Day of Charity. So 5th September, Teacher Day and the International Day of Charity. So remember by this that teachers are going to a charity program. So you can remember the 5th September. Next is appointments and resignation. That is very important. And the first is Ayushmann Khurrana appointed as the brand ambassador of the Bajaj Alliance. You can see now in the advertisement that he is promoting the Bajaj Alliance life insurance products. So Ayushmann Khurrana, remember this. Next is SBO Top. This is the first time the SBO Top company, that is the betting company, that is a gambling company, who signed Dwayne Bravo of the West Indies as a brand ambassador. And this is first time that any betting company, that is the SBO Top company, hired a cricketer. Otherwise, there are so many companies they hired cricketer, but it's the first time that SBO Top hires any cricketer, that is the Dwayne Bravo. Next, most important news. You have to remember this person that is most important. That is the PTI, Press Trust of India. That is a government news area. Appointed Veek Sarkar, elected as chairman. So this question can be asked. Very important because many news are we also cover from the PTI. So this is very important. That is Veek Sarkar, elected as the chairman. Moving to the next, who is appointed as the MD and CEO of South Indian Bank. If you are going for a bank exam, then you have to remember this. South Indian Bank chairman is Murli Ramakrishnan. Murli Ramakrishnan. So a South Indian name, and its name of the bank is South Indian Bank. Next is who is appointed as the managing director and chief executive officer of the Punjab and Sindh Bank. This is very important. That's why we covered with the question that Punjab and Sindh Bank, who is appointed as managing director and chief executive officer. And answer is very simple. That is S. Krishnan. S. Krishnan replaced S. Harik Shankar. So I told you in the Delhi current affair that how you will remember this. That is Krishna and the Shankar. So Krishna replaced Shankar. So S. Krishnan and the S. Harishankar. So you have to remember. And by the name of Sindh and Punjab, you remember the name Krishna. That Krishna will go to Punjab and the Sindh area with Radha. So you can remember the S. Krishnan. Moving to the next news, who is appointed as the first ever chief executive officer of the Indian Railways. That is very important because there are so many divided groups of the Indian Railways. So they want to cover up all the groups by the one chief executive officer, because all the groups comes under the one, that is the Indian Railway. Now they want to integrate this. They want to collaborate these groups. So like traffic, railway transition group, and so many groups in the railway sector. So they want to collaborate all, and there will be one chief executive officer, and the name is VK Yadav. So remember, this is the first time the CEO is appointed of the Indian Railways. So this is the VK Yadav. You can see here VK Yadav photo, so you can remember. And move to the next question, Mustafa Adib. You can remember his name. That is very important person. Mustafa Adib appointed as the Lebanon Prime Minister. So how you will remember his name? This is very important, Mustafa Adib. So you can remember that is Must Lebanon. That this person is must for Lebanon. So you can remember Mustafa Adib. Now moving to the next, that is not so much important, but we covered this news. That is Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India appointed a committee to study index-linked products for life insurance, so that they want to combine all the life insurance product of the insurance sector, and they appointed head of this committee as Dinesh Pant. So remember his name, that is Dinesh Pant. So it can be asked in the IBPS and the SBI. So we specially covered this news for the SBI. Moving to the next question, who appointed as the chairman and managing director of Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited by the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas? So this question is again important because it is appointed by the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. And who is the chairman and managing director of BPCL? And answer is K. Padmakar. You can see here K. Padmakar is the chairman and managing director of Bharat Petroleum. Move to the next question, and this is the Indian Trade Promotion Organization. His chairman managing director is LC Goyal. Now his time period extended for 1 year. Now he will retire in 2021. Otherwise, he have to retire in 2020. Now LC Goyal, due to COVID-19, the 1 year time period increased. Now next question, again it is very important question. It will be asked in the exams. That is Bureau of Civil Aviation first woman director general. That is the Usha Padhi. Usha Padhi. Usha so much Padhi because that's why he is appointed as the Bureau of the Director General of the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security. So you remember name of this lady, that is the Usha Padhi. Moving to the next, who is reappointed as the chairman of Central Board of Direct Taxes? Most important question, guys. Remember this, write it, learn it, remember it. And answer is Pramod Chandra Modi. He is currently chairman of the Central Board of Direct Taxes. He is reappointed for this post. So remember CBDT chairman, that is Pramod Chandra Modi. It is very important and will be asked in exams. You can see his face, that is Pramod Chandra Modi. Who is appointed as the chairman and managing director of Hindustan Shipyard Limited? Yes, guys, Hindustan Shipyard Limited. Tell me answer. You know about Mukul Rohtagi. You know about Ajay Bhushan Pandey, LV Sarat Babu, and answer is Hemant Khatri. Because you don't know his name, that's why answer is Hemant Khatri. He is appointed as the chairman and the managing director of Hindustan Shipyard Limited, Hemant Khatri. Move to the next question. You can see here Hemant Khatri appointed as chairman and managing director of HSL. Next question from the science and tech, and many question in the exam cover science and tech portion. That's why we covered science and tech portion. And here is first news. Which country has launched e-market platform of Agriota to bridge the gap between millions of rural farmers in India and the food industry of the Gulf country? Now this platform is very important. Agriota means there is a platform. This is a online platform under which Indian farmers and the food industry of the Gulf country joined, so that they can directly order a raw material from India. It means from the rural farmers of India, and can directly buy through this Agriota portal. So there is no middleman. So that's why the farmers' income can be increased, because the food industry is directly tied up with this rural farmers, and this is related to, that is UAE. So Gulf countries, United Arab Emirates, who tied up this or who started this platform, that is Agriota. You can see here new marketplace, that is Agriota, and Indian farmers and the UAE food industry. Moving to the next question. Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, Central Mechanical Engineering Institute, that is CSIR CIMRI, developed the world largest solar tree in which state? Where is the headquarter of CIMRI? That is the Central Mechanical Engineering Research Institute. Headquarter is in West Bengal. That's why they set up this solar tree in the West Bengal. You can see here, that is the world largest solar tree, that is by CIMRI in the headquarter of the CIMRI, that is West Bengal. Moving to the next question. Who has introduced an artificial intelligence powered voice chatbot Ligo on Google Assistant, so that it is applicable for the speech recognition? That's why there is a name as Google Assistant. So it is started by the ICICI Prudential. So this will resolve your all the queries related to the ICICI Prudential Life Insurance Company. And this is a artificial intelligence powered voice chatbot. It will be equipped with the Google Assistant. So you can, if you are doing some another work with your hand, so by speaking, you can also resolve this problem. Moving to the next, who has developed a remote controlled medical trolley named MedBot? This is very important. MedBot, that is the medical bot to deliver food medicine to COVID-19 patients, because due to COVID-19 you can't touch physically. That's why there is a need of robots. They can deliver the food medicine to the COVID-19 patients. So that's why there is a machine named Medbot. Medbot, you can see in the picture. Yes, you can see in the picture, this is a Medbot and it is started by Indian Railways. You can see here, it is started by the Indian Railways to deliver food medicine to the COVID-19 patient in the Railways hospital. Moving to the next, which Indian Institute of Technology have collaborated with University of Paraguay, Czech Republic to work towards developing indigenous algorithm to protect the country digital data from cyber attacks. So many countries are facing this type of problem, that digital data is under the cyber attacks. So recently Prime Minister Modi Twitter account was hacked. There are a lot of problems regarding this Twitter and the other digital devices. So easily they are hacked by the hackers. So to protect the country's digital data from cyber attacks, the valuable data from the cyber attack, which IIT ties up with this University of Pardubice, Czech Republic, that is the IIT Guwahati. You can see here that IIT Guwahati ties up with University of Pardubice to protect the nation's digital data from the cyber attacks. So this is from the picture that Kerala and West Bengal identified a new fish species, that is the glaciolus, or you can say that is the graciolus. The fish is known as the Gacilus, but you can pronounce it as the graciolus. So it is a new type of species that founded by the Kerala and the West Bengal, or identified in Kerala and West Bengal. Moving to the next question, which Indian institute launched on a zone-based decontamination device named Chakkar D-Cove to contaminate the N95 marks, to decontaminate the N95 marks? So if you use marks, then if you go to the hospital, then you will throw. But now by this device Chakkar D-Cove, it means Chakkar decontaminate COVID-19. That's the main motive behind this name. So this device can decontaminate the mask, and you can reuse the mask 10 times. 10 times. And this is developed by IIT Delhi, because this Chakkar is a startup initiative of IIT Delhi. That's why. So if you find this name Chakkar Innovation, that it is IIT Delhi, because it is a startup of IIT Delhi. And by this machine, you can see on this tray there are 9 or 12 masks, and this mask in the 90 minutes it can be decontaminated, and you can decontaminate it 10 times. One mask can be decontaminated 10 times. So this is very useful for the economical perspective, and also for the, you can say, long-term benefits of the device. Now next question, it is not a question, it is a information, that mammoth collision of impossible black holes, that two black holes with the different mass collide and make a new black hole that is known as the impossible black hole. So just remember the name of the impossible black hole. Union Minister of Education launched which app to develop Indian English pronunciation in the unique Indian way? So that because there are so much accent in the English language, that is the British accent, USA accent, and so many another accents. So we want to develop the Indian way of English pronunciation. That's why Ministry of Education released this type of application, that is known as the English Pro. By this, children can learn about the English pronunciation in the Indian way. That is English Pro. You can see here that device, or the that app is designed by the English and the Foreign Language University, Hyderabad. And our Minister of Education is Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank ji. Which country launched a reusable experimental spacecraft? Just remember this name, because this country not revealed so much detail about this spacecraft, but you have to remember this word, reusable experimental spacecraft, for the examination purpose. And this name of carrier launcher, that is the March 2F carrier rocket, by which this spacecraft launched, and this is launched by the China. That's why I already told you that no so much information provided in the public. So much information not provided to the public. That's why just remember this name, reusable experimental spacecraft. You can see here that is the reusable spacecraft by the China. Now moving to the sports section, and there is first news, who won the Belgium Grand Prix and Maxim Grand Prix are won by Lewis Hamilton. So remember his name, that is the Lewis Hamilton. You can see here Lewis Hamilton claims 89th career title, and in 2020 total out of 7 races he won 5 races. So this is also very important. India and which country were declared joint winners of 2020 online FIDE Chess Olympiad? Most important question because it was in controversy, and India and Russia won both FIDE Chess Olympiad. Now, why it is important? Because first time Russia declared winner, but India, on Indian side, they claimed that the internet connection disturbed. That's why Indian side not get any time because of the internet disturbance. So because this is online, that's why the India and the Russia jointly declared the winner after the controversy. So this person is very important, Vishwanathan Anand. Moving to the next, Olympic ski championship, Victoria Rebensburg retired. He is a German player, but he retired. He was a gold medal winner in 2010. So just remember her name, that is the Victoria Rebensburg. Who won the 48th annual World Open Chess Tournament via online? This is again very important, and his name is this Paneer Selvam Inian. You can see his picture. That is Paneer Inian. You can remember by the name of Paneer Inian. He wins this Grandmaster 48th annual World Open Chess Tournament. Moving to the next question, and this is related to the obituary section. Now moving to the obituary, that is very important person, cardiologist Dr. S. Padmavati. She was 103 years old, and she died at the National Heart Institute due to COVID-19 infection. She is very important lady, and the question can be asked there because India's first female and oldest cardiologist, that is Dr. S. Padmavati. India's first female and oldest cardiologist, that is S. Padmavati. And one more thing, she was also known as godmother of cardiology. Godmother of cardiology, because she started first cardiac clinic in India, that is in New Delhi. Remember, she was also awarded with the Padma Bhushan and the Padma Vibhushan. So much important lady, that is Dr. S. Padmavati. She died at the age of 103. Next is Chadwick Boseman, that is Black Panther actor, passed at very young age. He died almost at 43 of age. And Chadwick Boseman, remember his name, that is Chadwick Boseman died. Moving to the next very important person and the key person of the foreign policy, that is the you can say very respected person of the Indian foreign policy, that is K.S. Bajpai. Full name is Katyani Shankar Bajpai. He was appointed as a Indian ambassador to so much countries like United States, Pakistan, Netherlands, China. He was passed at the age of 92. So she was known as the father of Indian foreign services also. So he was a very important person behind the growth of Indo-US relations. So remember this person. This is very important. That is the Katyani Bajpai ji. Next, moving to the former president Pranab Mukherjee, 1935 to 2020. He died. Very sudden news. That is, he died. But so many things about him. So we will cover in another video about the only Dr. Pranab Mukherjee. Next is former England cricketer all-round David Chappell passed away. So you have to remember name of the cricketer, that is David Chappell. Books and authors, again you have to do some rectification in the books and author, but I will try my best to remind you all the books. And first book is The Big Thoughts of the Little Love. Big Thoughts of Little Love. It is a child book, or you can say children picture book. It is a most entertainer person, that is the Karan Johar. It is released by the Karan Johar. The Big Thoughts of a Little Love, by inspiring his two children. Who authored the book The Commonwealth of the Cricket? This is very important because this book is related to cricket, but the person belongs to the history. The famous book, that India After Gandhi, a lifelong love affair with the most subtle and the sophisticated game known as humankind. So this is written by Ramchandra Guha, The Commonwealth of Cricket. You can see in the picture the Commonwealth of Cricket, written by Ramchandra Guha. So every aspect of the cricket, starting from the royal princely areas to the Indian manhood. So everything covered under this book. And next book is the Channing Tatum, or you can say that is the Channing Tatum. It's a book, that is the One and Only Sparkella. So this book is very important, and the writer is Channing Tatum. Who authored the book Let Us Dream? This is most important book and it will be asked in the exam 101%. This is very important, which is set to release in December 2020. It is written by, that is Pope Francis. Pope Francis, that is the Vatican City Church Guru, Pope Francis. So you have to remember book name, that is Let Us Dream, because due to COVID-19 we are facing many problems. So under the Let Us Dream there are so many solutions regarding this problem. You can say Francis and Let Us Dream book. Which international organization launches new book, The Little Book of Green Nudges, to explore the ideas of the green initiatives like bicycle, like environments, like natural environment. So all the things, so that we can adopt the natural things in the daily life. So there is a book, The Little Book on the Green Nudges. So which organization? That is the United Nations Environment Program releases this book, that is the Little Book on the Green Nudges. So you can see, so it is launched to improve the green initiative by the different countries. Now next book, that is the Invertonomics. Invertonomics, so many ideas related to the India transformation. It is by Gurmeet Singh Chauhan. This book is written by Gurmeet Singh Chauhan and it gives the 8 ideas to transform India from starting planning commission to the Niti Aayog. So this book relates this also. Moving to the next, there are 2 books. One is the Nothing to Lose and second is the By My Own Rules. Nothing to Lose is very important because it is almost a story of Ma Anand Sheela, that is the Sheela Bhatia or Sheela Patel, you can say. He's a follower of the Rajneesh ji, or you can say Osho. So she write 2 books. That is the Nothing to Lose and second is the By Own Rules. Next is acquisition and merger. For the banking exam, you can cover which company acquired the retail and wholesale. This is most important acquisition. The retail and wholesale of the Future Group business. Who acquired this? And this is Reliance Industry Limited. Almost 25,000 crore rupees given to the Future Retail, and all the subsidiaries of the Future Group acquired by the Reliance Industries Limited. You can see here Reliance Industries Limited Future, that is almost 25,000 crore. Next is Adani Group. That is again second important acquisition. That is the Adani Group acquires 74% stake in Mumbai International Airport. So 74% and remaining 26% lies with the Airport Authority of India and 74% in the Mumbai International Airport by the Adani Group. Next is Cyber Peace Foundation have entered to partnership with which company to create awareness on cyber safety among students. So by using the social media platform, they will teach the students or the even parents so that they can aware about the cyber security. And this is initiative by the WhatsApp and the Cyberface Foundation. You can see here WhatsApp and the Cyber Peace Foundation jointly unveil online safety program for children and educators. Thank you guys for watching this weekly video. I think you like this video, and all the questions of the week, first week of September, that is 1st to 7th September are covered, and you learn, and I think you marked all the answers right. And please subscribe our channel and give us likes, that is 300 likes guys. And it is Affair Cloud promise that if you subscribe our current affairs PDF and if you watch our video, no question will be outside from our sources. And it is Affairs Cloud promise also that it will boost your confidence in the journal aware section. Just follow 1 month and feel the difference. And it will not only cover your current affairs section, it will also cover your GK section. So just give us 1 month and be regular for 1 month. You